what is an interesting fact you know or one that you've learned recently? If you don't mind, I really want to start.
Yeah.
So during the Genghis Khan-led Mongol conquest, did you know that they wiped out over 10% of the world's population?
What? That's insane.
Isn't that ridiculous?
I think I do. Did you ever see the movie Mongol? It was beautiful.
No, I didn't.
Amazing movie.
Really?
Yeah, I saw it a few times in the theater. It was so well done. But yeah, they get to some of those stats. And like, I think it's like 1 in 3 of us basically got a lot of Mongol genes because of that.
Oh yeah, they had a lot of sex.
Yeah. Yeah, they basically pushed their way to Italy in the Roman Empire.
But that's a good example of forced connection. That's why it didn't work out long term.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
She said.
And then one thing that I thought was like it just blew my mind because they tell you in school, and this is the way you're taught about these sort of things. But there's this whole Wikipedia page of common misconceptions, and one of them is that it's not actually true that your taste buds are in like the sections of your tongue. There's not like a sweet section and a salty section, which they taught. Like that's what I learned.
Yeah, they
right?
like
There's like little sections. This is sweet. This is where you feel taste salty, and this, like all sorts of stuff.
Huh.
I was like, oh wow, I thought that was
that way at all. Yeah. And they still don't even fully understand it, like the science of taste and tongue and all that.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got a better idea, but.
And this is one that I learned from Reddit. No one born blind has ever died of schizophrenia. I was like, wow, that's weird.
Interesting.
Then if you think about the statistics, it's like number of people that are blind, number of people with schizophrenia, but still, there should be like someone.
Yeah, some overlap point.
Yeah.
You'd think so.
That's interesting.
And then for the very last one, because as I said, sorry I went crazy with this, and they're all over the map, that the more expensive your wedding is,
The less likely.
the more likely you are to get divorced. But the less people you have at your wedding, the more likely you are to get divorced. So if you can somehow manage to get a lot of people and not spend a lot of money, apparently that's the best mix.
Backyard barbecue.
So yeah, I thought that was an interesting, there's a little bit contradictory, but it was statistically accurate, so I thought that was interesting.
Makes sense to me.
Anyone?
I'll go with mine. Mine is something that Tim Ferriss shared on social media a couple days ago, and it's basically that being busy is a form of laziness. So the whole quote is, slow down and remember this. Most things make no difference. Being busy is a form of laziness, lazy thinking and indiscriminate action.
I love that. I
Yeah,
mean, I think
it's so on point.
we talked about this earlier, but what was it?
See, I have a sub point to this.
Most things make no difference, I think is like so critical. Like people make such a big deal out of
Yeah.
little bullshit. And,
Yeah.
I mean, I do the same thing. It's hard to not get caught up in it, but I think it's just a very.
It's choosing a few things to do well. That's all it is. Instead of, oh, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this. Then you get caught up in that busy syndrome that's so pervasive, especially in corporate America.
Neurosis.
Being busy,
But I've always, another Zig Ziglar quote on this one from most people confuse activity with accomplishment.
Yep.
I'm so busy,
Yeah.
man.
But what are you getting done?
Fucking
Yeah,
actually
what
get
value
done?
are you
What
providing?
Yeah, you're busy, but what is that?
Yeah.
That's very good. Also,
And
it
that's
is
for
very
entrepreneurs. I've always said that 'cause most entrepreneurs I've known, coached, whatever, they're like, oh, but I don't have time for that. I'm like,
Yeah.
we all got 24 hours.
Yeah,
you know, it's
Exactly.
not.
Yep.
That's a good point.
John Boy?
Me? Interesting. Probably go back to Katie Bowman and her, what she calls casts that we placed on ourselves.
Ooh, yeah, that was good.
And the one I'm gonna go to is more the cast we place on our eyes. Of course, we do casts for a lot of different things, but
Like a broken arm, for example.
yeah, like a broken arm, and how when you're not using it, the muscle's gonna start wasting away.
Oh, right, sure.
Atrophy. And we do with our eyes. Everything we look at is so up close. We don't even use our eyes for judging different distances, different depths. We don't you know, and the muscles, they're always just so tense. It actually changes the shape of
Your lenses.
Yeah.
Lens.
And I remember her saying that, like, in today's society, we rarely look more than 20 feet from us.
Yep.
So that's why myopia is so prevalent, because there's no need to see distance.
You're right, and that's why now, like, every so often I'll just go and I'll pick a tree as far away as I can if there's trees, and I try to find something in that tree. I mean, just like I'm not gonna actually see something in the tree, it's far away, but it's just the fact that, you know, I'm relaxing everything and allowing my eye to see further, and
they adapt so quickly too.
oh, it's unreal.
I really think that if you go out in nature for a few days and you have vision problems, they'll be corrected.
Yep.
Maybe not a few days, but gradually.
Well, but see, I don't believe for 1 minute that John does that. I think John goes to the Mall of New Hampshire and like, I can see boobies from 100 yards.
You know, but ever since she said that, that's actually got me thinking, like, if I focus really hard on what she's wearing and tell myself I could see through it, can I really? And I've been trying to go with the whole Superman X-ray
Well, that's
vision.
exactly. We all had that as kids, Superman X-ray vision.
And you never know though, like what if we used to have this amazing ability and just the way society has gone and the way, you know, we train our minds that
We're diving deep.
Okay, but all it is scale on the light scale. So all we would have to do is somehow shift the part of the scale that we see.
Wavelengths.
Yeah.
But in a lot
How
of
to do
cases,
that.
I would not want to be able to see through.
actively choose.
Don't go to Walmart.
I don't try on everybody, just a few classy subjects. But and then I also had a quote from her book, Move Your DNA, and she says, "What makes a chair good is the frequency in which you choose not to use it. Spend your energy on improving skeletal health, not on a device that makes your tissue weaknesses less comfortable. Discomfort is nature's way of letting you know something is wrong." And I mean,
So
even
true.
like whenever we sit down and we sit for a prolonged period of time and we start shifting and like we're always trying to find that way just to be more content with it not doing anything. Like really,
Well,
yeah, that's true.
For me, I picked up this book at Bragg. What?
I was telling Steve with his new position, don't accidentally poop. It's very convenient. Yeah.
Bragg Healthy Lifestyle.
Good stuff.
Steve turned me on to the apple cider vinegar, of
Love that
course.
stuff.
ACV.
But I've just always felt this way, and I'd never read anything about it. Warning: avoid all unhealthy microwaved foods, which is basically all of them. And this references a bunch of studies, and I've just never liked microwaves, being around them, the food that comes from them. And it says, recent work done in Great Britain warns that radiation is damaging to the electromagnetic activity of human life vibrations, but also the food. That it has all sorts of effects on the radiation, deforms and destroys the molecular structure of the food, creating radiolytic compounds. When microwave food is eaten, abnormal changes occur in the blood and immune systems. And it's in America, a bunch of these shitty chain restaurants, actually, they get the food, it comes frozen. People think it's cooked in like the commercials and all that stuff. Nuked shitty food and
Fresh soup.
Oh, yeah. What even, but like
Radiation's totally good for us, right?
Oh yeah.
I love it. I eat it with breakfast.
Bananas? Yeah.
That's my interesting fact that was confirmed that I've just always had intuition about.
Yeah, and it just, you could taste it, you know, you could taste that something's not right.
That's why
You know,
everyone
it's-
looks at
it's
me like
intuitive.
I'm crazy for not microwaving my food. But I'd rather eat
Well,
cold food than that
you're
shit.
doing it.
I'd rather
I always eat cold. I don't care.
it tastes the same. Like I don't see it tastes better than when you put it in the nuke. Like,
Yeah.
All right.
So,
Ladies and germs, thank you for your time, attention, and
yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Unless
This is
anyone
the
has
way it's
anything else they want to share.
I gotta go
All right.
to this.
Hey.
you.